And let's see. So we will get your guys's. Fuck is the twist video?
Oh, my cock just vibrated. We must be live.
We are live. We'll play the videos.
And we
we'll
just
be up
lost
and running.
viewers.
I don't know if you watched any other of our shows, Mike, but this is we don't toe the line. We blow the line.
I've had people like, can I swear on your show? Well, yeah, it's actually encouraged.
Right. If you don't swear, you're not going to fit in.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to hit the intro, and we'll be all set to go. Have a good show, guys.
Thanks.
NBC.
What do you get when you put two Minnesotans and a guy from Wisconsin together? Twist. The Week in Sports Talk. Get ready for some sports chatter where there's sure to be laughing, arguing, and maybe even crying. Now, here are your hosts, Mike Reeves, Matt Benz, and Greg Green Bay Bauman.
Well, no Matt Benz.
No Matt Benz. Is he even going to come back to the show?
I don't know, man.
Guy gets
You're
married.
welcome, Twist Nation. You got Reeves and GBG, episode 41.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Nowitzki.
Yeah, our first Russian.
He's not Russian. He's German.
He's not Russian?
No, he's German.
A German Russian.
No, they're two completely different countries, separated by a whole lot of former communist nations.
Well, I think it's our first player for episode who wasn't American. Hashtag diversity.
There you go.
So,
Our claim into diversity is a 7'1" white guy from Germany.
yeah, well,
I'm a 6'4" white guy from Germany. Well, my ancestors are.
basically.
Yeah.
Exciting show for you. We
Yeah.
got a guest lined up here in a second. Want to thank Bricks Boatworks. They're back,
Bricks.
Greg.
Bricks
They are.
for all of your aquatic and marine needs.
Yep. And right now it's for boat storage
Yep.
and winterizing.
Winterizing. You.
So you got to call the brothers down at Bricks Boatworks in Shakopee, Minnesota, and get in on that. Also, if you go to mndockandlift.com and you look up the Otter, that's ice fishing and some other stuff, they're a preferred dealer.
Nice.
So they're going to beat the big box stores, your Dick's, your
What's it? Oh, Shields.
Shields. That's
Yeah.
what I was looking for,
Yeah.
Greg. They're going to beat their price. So you're going to hop on there. You're going to go to checkout. Then there's a promotional code.
Really? What would you put in under the promotional
You
code?
would put twist.
Twist.
Yep, for 5% off. Tevin, why don't you hop on the website and show Twist Nation, because they're not the smartest,
No.
just what to do.
No one's going to do brain surgery and then watch an episode of Twist.
No.
All right, let's get that pulled up here.
So that's mndockandlift.com. There we go, down to that Otter box.
Otter. There you go.
Now, let's check out an ice shelter there.
There it is.
Look at that thing.
Tell you
Yeah.
what, if I was going to do some ice fishing, it'd be in that thing.
Oh, that's a beaut. Add that to the cart. Boom.
Now, what do you do?
Oh, there's that promo code.
Oh, enter promo code, enter Twist. Look at that.
And apply. Boom. $24.95 off. Well, there you go, Twist Nation.
Look at that. You're welcome.
Thank you, Bricks
You'll be
Boatworks.
thanking us in February.
All right.
Get it now. Put it in someone's stocking for Christmas.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get your boat winterized.
Yeah, you
Get
wanna-
it stored.
You want to winterize your boat because if you don't, it's going to be April and you're going to be like, I'm going to go fishing and your boat's not going to be winterized.
Don't be that guy.
Bad oil, bad gas. Yeah, winterize it.
So I've been trying to book our guests related to, I know you don't care, Green Bay, Greg.
I care.
But for people covering the teams that the Vikings play this upcoming week. So this week we have Mike Herndon, analyst and editor for Broadway Sports, and he covers the Tennessee Titans. Mike, how are you?
Uh-oh, we're muted.
Oh, you do? Not like up here in Minnesota and
I've
in
heard
Wisconsin.
You guys have shut down schools before because there was like drifting snow. Like there was a couple of snowflakes.
You look warm.
Yeah, you do.
Please tell me that's not a Marcus Mariota framed jersey behind you. Okay.
Clay.
Weren't a big fan of him there, huh? So let's talk the upcoming game here, Titans versus Vikings. Greg, what are they what are the odds of them winning? They +3 or something?
2.5.
2.5.
Titans are 2.5-point favorites.
Wow. So talk a little bit about how your team's doing. Corey Davis is playing like he's got a contract up at the end of the year. Yeah, I just had to pick him up as a free agent because I drafted A.J. Brown, and he's done nothing because he's been hurt. When he does come back, what's that offense going to look like? Jonnu's emerging. We have a local fantasy football guy here. He's actually known nationally who was super high on Jonnu Smith and has done, nothing short of expectations that he predicted.
I was going to ask you about Tannehill. Is last year the narrative nationwide was that Tannehill was a game manager, feeding the ball to Derrick Henry as often as possible. Then he got paid. He got some cheddar in the offseason. Are the fans coming around? Are the fans believing that he might be the relatively long-term future at quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is. How does it feel? Because I know as a Viking fan, I mean, we paid a subpar white quarterback to just kind of perform, and
He's not.
he's not. So, I mean, does it feel pretty good? Screw you, Mike.
Wow.
Oh, man. Well, you had about 2 years there before Vrabel where you had Derrick Henry and didn't use him. You know, he's, I think, always had that uber, talent, but whatever the case was, he just wasn't utilized as much. And then when finally he was let off the leash, he's doing what he's doing now. So that's kind of what I think the Vikings had hoped for with the Delvin Cook in a run-first offense and a guy who makes, Kirk Cousins is a great down-the-field passer. He just can't pull his head out of his ass and really get anything done when, the walls are closing in. So hands down to you guys. It's exciting for a team that was in, the AFC Championship to start off 2-0. Let's talk about the matchup here this week. So what do you think your chances are against my Minnesota Vikings? Well, and we know that Cousins can find Thielen. The trouble is he hasn't been able to find anybody else. So I think, Thielen's going to eat. Delvin, hasn't really got it going. He's got those 2-point conversions in consistent games that he needed to because we've been getting safeties in multiple games as well. So we're trying to make up points that we're literally giving away. So it will be interesting. Mike Vrabel, he's a defensive-minded coach, which is kind of fading in the NFL now. It's mostly all offense. Adding Jadeveon Clowney was a huge pickup for you guys and one that I didn't see coming. I thought that was great to be able to add him, but again, I didn't think he'd go to the Titans. So what were your thoughts on kind of adding him?
Take your pick.
Yeah, he makes me nervous. We're talking to Mike Herndon, brought to you by Bricks Boat Works. He's the analyst and editor for Broadway Sports, covering the Titans and much more. Where can Twist Nation find you on the tweet machine there, Mike? Perfect. So before we let you go, we'll see if Greg has anything else, but what's your final prediction? All right, that's enough time, folks. Thanks, Mike.
Actually, what I want to do is I want to go to that website for about 3 hours before the game. That way, for 6 straight hours, I can just enjoy myself, watch how they're going to destroy the Vikings, and then watch it actually happen.
Yeah, I hope you get hit by a train on your way home, Greg. All right. Well, thank you, Mike, for coming on. Hopefully, you can be a part of the Twist Nation family now. And anytime any Tennessee sports comes up, we can have you back on the show.
Great. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that. Mike Herndon, ladies and gentlemen. Check him out on Twitter at Mike Miracles.
He was going to say the final score was going to be 38-10. That's, I think, what he was going to say.
Oh, yeah. Is that what you were going to say, Mike? Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. Thanks, Greg. That's why we keep him around. 38-10. Well, that'll be a shellacking.
Well,
I don't know if I can take it anymore.
Well, speaking of transitions, what do you got next on the show?
I don't know, Tevin. What do we got going on here?
Next on the show, we're diving into the border battle predictions. So we're going to talk a little border battle action.
Dubbed my favorite portion of the show.
Yeah, Greg had to ask, what is this border battle prediction thing all about? And I said, well, a few weeks back before the season got started, we kind of did our season-long predictions for our prospective teams. Mm-hmm. So now that we're 2 games in and we kind of get a glimpse of what our teams look like, I want to break down the rest of the season for the Vikings and the Packers. So let's start.
Which is funny because when I saw this on your little itinerary.
Yeah, my little itinerary.
Yeah, well, my first thought was, what's he just going to talk about the Vikings and the Packers? It's like watching you for 5 minutes just kick yourself in the nuts.
Yeah, no, we'll get to that. All right, so you won week 1, you won week 2.
Yep.
So you're 2-0.
Yep.
All right, week 3 against the Saints.
After watching them last week, I think we're going to win that one.
I'm going to agree, especially without Michael Thomas.
Yep.
Falcons.
We'll win that. They don't have a defense.
I'll agree with that. Week 6.
That's the one.
Buccaneers.
That's the one I worry about. I'm going to say loss there. I don't think we're going to go 6-0.
Okay. I'm going to say you win there.
Okay. Because I think that by that point, Fournette's going to be hot, and Brady's going to have 3 more games under his belt. So I'm saying they lose that one.
All right. You got to see. I'm going to say the upset here is going to be week 7 against the Texans. I think Deshaun Watson's going to go off there. I think you lose there.
Yeah, I say win there.
Okay. So you got a loss. All right. Vikings.
Win.
Agreed. Niners, week 9.
A lot of it depends on when they get their guys. If it's
Bosa's out for the season.
I was gonna say if it's currently how it is right now with Garoppolo hurt, with Mostert hurt, I'm gonna say win there.
I'm gonna say win too. Jaguars win. Colts win. Bears win. Eagles win. Detroit win. Carolina win. Mike's Tennessee Titans.
I'm gonna say win.
Win and win. So basically we have 1 loss.
Yeah.
So we're at 15-1.
15-1 for the Pack.
All right. My Minnesota Vikings. All right. So we're 0-2. So this Sunday at the Tennessee Titans.
I think they're going to lose this.
0-3.
Yep.
Texans.
I think they're going to win that one.
Do you?
I don't think Deshaun Watson is that good without D-Hop. And maybe by next year, but I think that every year I always think the Houston Texans end up doing really well. I just don't see it this year.
Yeah, but we lost Barr for the season.
All right, loss.
Daniil Hunter's out.
Loss.
No pressure. 0-4. Seahawks.
Oh, big
0-5. Falcons. 0-6.
Yeah.
Their offense is, their defense sucks, but they can put up 40.
I was going to say, the score's going to be like 41-38.
Yep. 0-6. Then
you-
we have a bye week.
Thank
Then
God.
the Packers.
Loss.
0-7. First win of the season, Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions, yeah.
1-7. The Bears. It's at Chicago.
That's a loss.
1-8. Cowboys.
Loss.
1-9. Panthers.
Loss.
2-9.
Oh, you think so?
I think we beat.
Yeah.
I think we beat Teddy at home.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Jaguars.
That's a win.
3-9. Tampa.
Loss.
3-10. Bears.
Loss.
3-11. Saints.
Loss.
3-12. I bet we go 3-13.
3-13. I
Yep.
can see that. 4-12, 3-13. Yeah.
From 10 wins, 9 wins we had.
Yeah, but the nice thing is, you might get Justin Fields.
So if no, I don't want Justin. I want the locks, man.
Yeah, you got to get number one.
At 3-13?
The Jets aren't going to win a game all year. The Jets might not win a game for the next 3 years, or until they get rid of Gates.
They got Darnold.
They're not. Yeah, but are you kidding me? They're not going to.
Darnold isn't a slouch.
No.
Do they just get Trevor Lawrence and trade Darnold?
Well, look what they did with Kyler Murray. They had Rosen, and
Oh my God, Rosen didn't even play, and he played like shit. You can't compare the two.
well, I don't.
Darnold's actually a decent NFL player.
I don't think they're going to pass up Trevor Lawrence because they have Sam Darnold. When you just say it like that,
yeah.
no, they're not.
All right, so GBG and Sir Miking's predictions for the rest of the season for our teams are the Vikings going 3-13, winning one more game, and the Packers going 15-1. I might have a cocktail.
I mean, the thing is when you
Oh,
when
my
you go
God.
game by game, the Packers' schedule is pretty easy this year.
Well, it's the same as the Vikings. Unbelievable. All right, that's enough of that.
That's
So,
a great time.
That's our opinions.
Audio Jungle.
All right, let's transition into the game of the week.
This is a new game, Twist Nation. It is going to be GBG in one corner and T Money in the other. I told these guys
Yes,
before the show, Cardboard Doge up there, I think he's going to get in it this week. So
I hate it when the cardboard cutout does better than me.
Right.
this week's game, titled Who Started? Question number 1.
We got to use our names as our buzzer, correct?
Your name is your buzzer. Thank you, Greg.
All right.
Who started at point guard for the 1988 Lakers?
Greg.
Greg.
Byron Scott.
88?
Don't be looking it up either.
I have no idea. I don't even have a good guess.
Oh, you
Give
gotta
it to-
have a good guess.
I mean,
GBG.
Nope.
who was the? I was gonna say. I don't know why I was gonna say it. No, I'm not even gonna say anything. I was gonna say Eric Snow, but I know
Nope.
that's wrong.
All right, Doge with the point.
AJ Cooper.
Magic Johnson.
Wow, I should have gotten that one.
Yeah,
We all
just
should have
pick-
gotten that one.
Pick him. Who started at wide receiver for the 2002 Minnesota Vikings?
Tevin,
Tevin.
Chris Carter, Jake Reed, Randy Moss. Like that. Where he lives.
Yeah,
like a
you
bunch
just
of them?
you just needed one.
Oh,
So
okay.
correct. My answer was Randy Moss 'cause he's the freak. So Tevin, point. Question number 3. Who started at running back for the 2002 Packers?
Greg.
Greg.
Dorsey Levens.
Tevin?
Amon Green.
Ding, 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 ding. Wow, Greg, you suck at life.
I hear a lot of clicking in, over
no,
by
no,
Tevin.
no.
He's-
Oh, he's- we'd
You
see
can
it right
you can see
there.
the desktop up there.
He's using the Google machine.
Wow. Who started at center field for the 1991 Twins?
Greg. Kirby Puckett.
And he's on the board, folks. We got a tie at the bottom with Doge and GBG, each with 1. Tevin has 2. Question number 5. Who started at first base for the 91
Greg.
Twins?
Kent Herbeck.
Please allow me to read the question, Greg. That'd be fantastic. Tie ball game. Question number 6. Who started at quarterback for the 2013 Broncos?
Greg, 2013.
3, 2, 1. Tevin?
Peyton Manning.
Correct. Who started at quarterback for the 2019 New York Giants?
Tevin. Daniel Jones.
He did not start.
Oh, my
Greg,
gosh.
Eli Manning.
Correct. It was a trick question, you son of a bitch. Question number 8. We got a tie ball game. 3 with GBG, 3 with Tevin, and Doge is on the board
You've got one.
with 1. Question number 8. Who started at quarterback for the 1975 Vikings?
Greg,
Greg.
Fran Tarkenton.
That is correct. Question number 10. Who started at center for the 1972 Milwaukee Bucks?
Greg.
Greg.
Lou L. Cinder.
That is incorrect.
Jeez. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That is correct.
Oh, shit. He changed his name right when he went to Milwaukee. I thought he changed it after he left. Damn it.
Yeah, he tried to
the
get
same damn-
too. I know it is. I know it is, but he tried to outthink it. Good job, T. Who started at wide receiver for the 2008 Cowboys?
Greg, Michael Irvin.
Incorrect.
Des Bryant.
Incorrect. GBG and Tevin off. Cardboard Doge, you got it correct. It is T.O.
Oh.
2.
duh.
And you know how I know that? If you were to just ask me, I'd get that correct because 2008 was my first fantasy football championship. My team name was the T-Row and T.O. Show.
Was that the year he was doing crunches in his driveway?
Probably. He always does, though. You seen those abs?
With Drew Rosenhaus. Next question.
All right. Question number 11. Who started at center for the 2001 Lakers?
Tevin. Shaq.
Correct. Who started at point guard for the 2016 Celtics?
Tevin. Rajon Rondo.
Incorrect.
Ray Allen.
Cardboard Doge with number 3. It was little Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Question number 13. Who started at point guard for the 1987 Pistons?
Greg.
Greg.
Isaiah Thomas.
Correct.
Hey, I see what you did there, Mike.
Yeah, thank you. Question number 14 with 2 to go. Let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for GBG. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Tevin. And 1, 2, 3 for Doge. So Doge could run the table. It could be a 3-way tie. And you'd have me on my toes, Twist Nation. Question number 14. Who started at quarterback for the 1987 Philadelphia Eagles?
Tevin. Ron Jaworski.
Incorrect.
Damn it.
Greg. Randall Cunningham.
Correct. Yes. Who started at running back for the 1991 Vikings?
Tevin.
Come on.
Robert Smith.
Incorrect. Son of a bitch. He ran out of his shoes.
Greg. Herschel Walker.
Correct. Yes. Championship goes painfully to Green Bay Greg with who started. Good job, guys.
In my defense, most of those were before I was born.
Yeah, but they were easy enough to get.
In
Herbeck, Kirby, Fran
the Twins ones,
Tarkenton.
I would never even come close to getting.
I think there was one, Fran Tarkenton, before I was born. That was 1 year before I was born.
Well, there's always got to be a Benz, you know.
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Just
every group's got to have the kid.
got to have the Benz. So good effort. Valiant effort.
Audio Jungle.
All right, and here we go with some twist topics.
All right, let's get into some TTs. Some titties.
Some twist topics.
All right, twist topic number 1. Is no preseason the cause for the injuries in the NFL?
I think absolutely.
Has to be.
It has to. There's, it's one of those things where it's like you don't just wake up one day and run a marathon. You prepare for it over the course of time. And these guys did not get preseason, so there was no hitting. And a lot of there's no preseason games. The OTAs were so limited, and not only that, but I think that what's so important that I just learned is that in most off seasons, referees or certified officials show up at these at the facilities.
Yep.
And they explain to the guys, this is a holding call, this is a pass interference, whatever the case is. So these guys are running around and they don't even know, what's this, a hold or this, whatever, with new rules.
Right.
So I think that they're all on they're all running around on the backs of their toes.
Do you think they'll slow down then as the season? I mean, football's a dangerous sport. People get hurt. But with the first 2 weeks, I think that's why we see so many of them is because there wasn't a preseason.
I think that what's going to happen, because last week was the two biggest names in fantasy sports, which let's just call a spade a spade.
Sure.
It's all about fantasy sports. The number one and number two pick in most leagues went out within 3 hours of each other.
My twist team.
Without
CMC and Barkley.
without within like 3 hours of each other. So I think that's why it's getting so much attention. Where if it would have been offensive linemen or defensive backs, we wouldn't have heard as much about it. But I think the high profile players that it happened to.
Well, if they were high profile.
Yeah, but when you go down the list, you're not going to say Nick Bosa right away, and he's one of the best defensive ends in all of football.
Sure, and he's out, yeah.
But you wouldn't have said his name in the top 5 because he's not a fantasy player.
Right, but I probably would have because I'm an elite NFL
You're
mind.
elite football mind.
All right. Jackson State hired Deion Sanders to be their football coach.
Did you hear why when they asked him why?
I didn't.
When they asked him why, his response was, "God called me to Jackson State." How can I disagree with that? I'm not being sarcastic. I mean, because he's a very spiritual person.
He 100% is.
So if he feels that there's a higher calling for him, then who am I to argue? Whatever that is. Maybe he thinks that he's got to move down there, or maybe he thinks that there's more that he can do for the community, or whatever the case is, and he's just a football coach is just part of it. God bless him. Good luck to you, Deion.
Do you think God told him to call Terrell Owens, Warren Sapp, who else there? Oh, wrong page.
They're kids?
No. So, according to Joe Cook, the new Jackson State head coach has hired a couple of Hall of Famers to the staff. So, T.O. is going to be the wide receivers coach. Warren Sapp will be the defensive line coach. Also hiring Jason Phillips as the offense coordinator, Dennis Thurman as defense coordinator, and Mario Edwards Sr. as the defensive backs coach. Do you think God called them too, or just Deion?
I think just Deion.
So, part of it, though, is
they're going to sell some tickets.
T.O.'s kid and Warren Sapp's kid play for Lane Kiffin right now. So they blue-shirted, which means they could get scholarships next year in 2019. So technically this year would have been the year they get scholarships. So to me, that's a big – T.O.'s son plays wide receiver. He's 6'3".
Yep.
And Warren Sapp's son plays defensive tackle, the same positions that they had. So they could recruit their sons to play with Shedeur Sanders, who's a 4-star recruit. I think I had some notes on him. No, I do not. But that'd be pretty sweet.
That would be. They're going to sell some tickets.
God, that'd be cool. You got T.O.'s kid, Warren Sapp's kid, and Deion's kid. Deion's kid thrown to T.O.'s kid.
I thought okay. What's funny is my twin brother played.
You're a twin?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Looks more like you, and he looks like me. He played offensive.
Good-looking guy.
He played offensive and defensive line for my high school team, and my dad was the offensive and defensive line coach. What was funny was my dad would yell at Danny more than he'd yell at anyone else because, you hold your kids to a higher standard. I just want to watch the interactions between the dads and their kids during games. I mean,
I didn't even know Jackson State had a football team.
Either did I.
Or a college.
Either did I. But you know what? I'm going to watch them.
Yeah. I hope they get – what conference are they in?
Probably the same conference as FAU, Florida Atlantic. I mean, I would think Jackson State would be in Jacksonville, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah. Oh, Jackson, Mississippi? Okay.
Tevin, you look that up for us?
Yes, sir.
We'll move on.
Yeah, no, we'll move on, but I want to know. Are the Lakers a lock to win it all?
I don't think they're a lock, but if I was a betting man on the NBA, I mean, I don't bet on the NBA. I leave that for the NFL. I would put my money on the Lakers. I think that if you play these Final Four, these conference championships, if you play them 10 times, I think the Lakers win 9 of the times. I think that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Heat are scary. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think that the Lakers aren't going to get out of the West. I think they 100% will. Just watching Jimmy Butler, and you got Tyler Hero balling last night. That was a fun game.
Wisconsin kid.
Another guy that the Wolves could have got. But yeah, I just don't know. You put LeBron in the finals, and I don't know. I think they're probably as close to a lock as you can get.
Yeah, I think that. Would you say that that's fair to say?
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times they're going to win this layout.
100%.
Yeah.
What'd you figure out, Tevin? Jackson State? What's
Ooh, sorry, hold on. I got caught up. Jackson State. What am I looking up about Jackson State?
what state are they in?
Where's the university?
Well,
I think it's in Mississippi. Greg says Jacksonville. Losers streaking off the set. Right?
Jackson State University.
Yep.
True. It appears. Wow, come on.
I know all 50 states, and I didn't know Jackson was a state. So
I'm pretty sure it's in Mississippi.
Fuck off, Greg. Carl, Greg, how good is it to be a Packer fan in Minnesota right now?
it's my boy Carl. Yeah,
It is in Mississippi.
very nice. Carl lived in Minnesota for several years. Went to Stout. Now he's back in the Madison area.
Cool. Twist topic number 4. Kyler or Dak? You got to pick one. You're the GM.
Oh, I'm picking Kyler 10, and every day of the week and twice on Sunday. I don't think Dak is. I would pick Kyler before Dak, and I'd also pick other quarterbacks before Dak as well. I don't.
Blasphemous. He just threw for 450 yards, rushed for 3 and threw for 1.
Look who they played, and they
Doesn't
still,
matter.
And they still barely lost. If it wasn't for some stupid onside kick,
That might have been the craziest thing I've ever seen in sports.
yeah.
It's like the ball had coronavirus.
I mean, yeah, someone forgot to tell grown-ass men who play sport professionally that they could have touched the ball. They didn't have to. They didn't have to grab it. They could have just kicked it out of bounds.
Yeah. I agree. I would take Kyler because he's cool.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about Kyler Murray is he wears a loose long-sleeve shirt.
Yeah, you don't like that.
I hate it.
Yeah, you didn't like that last. Yeah, this has been a 2-week thing for you now.
It drives me mad.
it really
it's
bothers
like
you.
It's like the Brow wearing a T-shirt underneath his Lakers jersey.
Yeah, you don't like that.
No, grown men.
Yeah.
Take off your shirt. You know, if you're going to wear a long-sleeve shirt,
Skin tight.
skin tight,
Yeah,
man.
Lycra spandex.
What is this, 1974? I'm pretty sure he has one of the long jerseys, too, doesn't he?
I think so.
It's not tucked up high and tight.
Yeah. He's got to work on his appearance game.
The biggest thing I hated about AP is when he played for Oklahoma, he wore a black visor.
Oh,
Then he gets drafted to the Vikings. I'm a big visor guy.
see, some coaches don't let you wear that though because they want to see your eyes.
But then he comes to the Vikes. He never wears a visor. He tricked me one time before the game, had a visor on. Game started, no visor. So I liked him a little less because of it.
You would. But see, some coaches don't. They won't let you. So you might want to take it up with the coaching staff during that time. But for the time being, we'll just make sure
You're going to like this one,
All
Greg.
right,
Twist topic number 5. You are the owner of the Minnesota Vikings. What is in your back pocket right now, knowing what you know?
that I have a really, really good scout staff, and we're going to get a really high pick in every round of the NFL draft.
That's all you know. That's in your back pocket.
No, what's in my back pocket, in all honesty, is I need to find a way to get rid of Kirk Cousins. And I'm glad Matt's not here because Matt defends Kirk Cousins like he's his only child.
Right.
But Kirk Cousins sucks. And the reason why the Vikings suck is because they waste way too much money and guaranteed money on a quarterback that is not even in the top 25 of starting quarterbacks in the NFL. And there's only 32 teams. And that's being generous.
I fire everybody.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You keep Thielen, you keep Cook, you keep your Hunter and Barr because they're hurt.
Kendricks.
All these guys are, but get rid of everyone else.
You got to keep them. You keep your team, and I've talked about this before. I actually wrote a blog about it. And we did talk about this with Mike Herndon when he was on. That was our guest earlier. Broadway Sports. Follow him on Twitter at Mike Miracles. It's an offensive-minded game right now. You got the Chiefs. You got the Ravens. You got the Rams, you got the Cowboys, you got the Cardinals. All these teams besides for the Niners, who didn't win a Super Bowl, are all offensive minded. I get Byron Leftwich. Talked about this. Or I think my number one choice, the offense coordinator for the Chiefs.
What's his name?
Bahimi or Billamy or
no, he played for. He was running
black
back.
dude.
Yeah, he's a running back from Michigan. I can't think of his name now.
So you get a black guy. That's good. Number one.
Well, here's the thing. What you guys are looking like right now is you guys are looking like the Cincinnati Bengals from the early 2000s when they had Marvin Lewis.
Right, and just
Because
wouldn't let go.
They wouldn't let go of him, but it's like, hey, we have one of the elite defensive minds. Well, you know what defensive minds get you as head coaches? High draft picks in every round of the upcoming NFL draft.
Yeah. So I bring in the Chiefs offensive coordinator. I bring it all in. I draft a quarterback. Really, unless we find a buyer for Kirk Cousins, we're stuck with them until after next year.
Tim Biakapatuka.
Who?
Tim Biakapatuka.
He's a quarterback?
No, he's a running back. He's the defensive coordinator.
Oh.
I think that's who it is.
Yeah. No, but we need a quarterback. There's
Yeah.
plenty of them. I don't care. Top 10, we can get any of the five.
Yeah.
As long as he's black.
Yeah, you're Justin Fields.
You need a black quarterback.
No,
Who are
okay.
the best quarterbacks in the league right now?
Okay, they're the black guys. However,
They are.
I just told you after we did our our predictions that you're looking pretty to get Justin Fields, and you wanted Trevor Lawrence.
Because he can still run, though.
Trevor
And he's
Lawrence is more
6'6".
white than me.
He is, but he's a big dude, and he can run. He's like a Josh Allen.
Yeah.
So he's not your your Tom Brady's, your Drew Breeses, your Phillip Rivers, your Eli. Those aren't the quarterbacks anymore. Best quarterback in the league, Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson. Dak
Kyler Murray.
Over Lamar?
No, I was saying it before Dak.
Oh, I didn't mean to. Russell Wilson,
Yep.
Kyler Murray,
Mm-hmm.
Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
So your top five.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's get us, not a Tavares Jackson. God rest his soul. But
Or Dante Culpepper, who,
little hands.
yeah, might be one of the dumbest human beings ever.
Little hand. He was fun there for a while.
Off air, I'll tell you a funny story about him.
All right. All right, good. Well, that's all I got for the topics.
Nice.
Yeah.
And before we transition, name to watch, Trey Lance, NDSU quarterback.
Yeah. That's Tevin, I was going to say, right behind us, we got some NDSU championship trophies. What else we got behind? Isn't that your nameplate, Tevin?
Yeah, that's a nameplate off my locker, and then we got a little NDSU football. Got to rep the NDSU squad.
Were you a long snapper?
Don't disrespect me like that. I was a wide receiver.
You should see Tevin. Dude is jacked.
Chiseled.
Yeah, Joe Moore. Hi, Joe.
Audio Jungle.
All right, now we're going to get a blast from the past with a little twist history.
All right. Time to get learned. You ready, Greg?
Bring it.
In 1493, Christopher Columbus embarks on his second expedition to the New World, setting sail with a fleet of 17 ships. You know what, Twist Nation? You get your history here because America is trying to wipe it out from you. 1789, U.S. Attorney General Office is created.
Nice.
What do they do? The U.S. Attorney General, besides put shit on cigarettes.
It's pretty much, enforcing laws.
Is it true you got to be 21 to smoke the tobacco wacky here now?
See, I don't know if it's
Somebody said that the other day. Oh, well,
like
you got to be
some kind of-
21. I'm like, what?
I don't know if it's 21 to smoke or if it's 21 to buy it.
Well, it's the same thing, Greg.
Well, no, and you can buy it in one county and move to another.
1919, Boston Red Sox slugger Babe Ruth sets MLB season home run record at 28. The next year, 1920, future Baseball Hall of Famer slugger Babe Ruth becomes first to hit 50 home runs in an MLB season. So I thought this was very interesting. So in 1919, hits the most ever at 28. 1 year later, he hits 50.
He's jacked up on roids.
Oh, God. That's when... Also in 1920s when steroids were introduced to the MLB.
He was like your size.
He was a drunk.
Well, yeah, but he was your size.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was like 5'10", 220 pounds maybe. Even so, yeah.
Oh, maybe 8 months ago.
Yeah,
I was
old Mike.
220. All right, 1920. Oh, fuck. 1927. NHL Toronto St. Patrick's become the Maple Leafs. Didn't know that. 1934, 2,500 fans see Babe Ruth's farewell Yankee appearance at Yankee Stadium. He was a big hit on this day in history. 1952, this is for you, Greg. American fast food restaurant chain KFC opens its first franchise in Salt Lake City.
Oh, extra crispy.
Hate KFC. You already know that. Hate it. 1953. Oh, I felt that, Greg. I felt it. 1953, Rocky Marciano knocks out hometown favorite Roland Lastarza in 11. 1955, U.S. President Eisenhower suffers a heart attack on vacation in Denver. 1964, The Munsters premieres on TV. It's a good show.
Yeah.
1968, 60 Minutes premieres on CBS. 1969, first Elvis convention. 2,500 fans attend in Cincinnati. Thank you very much. 1972, Jack Tatum played for Oakland, returns a fumble, 104 yards versus Green Bay. That's the only reason I did that one.
Nice.
1977, first broadcast of Love Boat on ABC. Would you have had that DVR'd if DVR existed back then?
I wasn't a fan of that show.
Why?
It's cheesy.
Well, yeah, that's why it was good.
Yeah.
The only I used to catch it at like day camp. You know, the lady would have it on in the background while she's making lunch and smoking cigarettes.
During that time, I was a big Knight Rider fan in the A-Team.
I bet. 1979, Pete Rose reaches 200 hits in a season for the 10th time. 1991, Deion Sanders left the Braves on July 31st to report to the NFL Falcons. Returns to the Braves. 1992, Toronto's Dave Winfield, age 40, is the oldest player to reach 100 RBIs. 1995, Emilio and Gloria Estefan boat hits and kills a jet skier.
Wow.
Didn't know that.
No.
2007, The Big Bang Theory premieres. 2013, The Goldbergs premieres.
Both great shows.
The Goldbergs is way better. Way better. No?
I'm a Big Bang Theory fan.
Yeah, because you're a nerd. 2019, Nancy Pelosi announces formal impeachment inquiry into U.S. President Donald Trump, arguing that he tried to enlist a foreign power for his own political gain.
How'd that go for you, Nance?
That's all I got, Twist Nation. You got learned.
All right, and here we go with the headlines of the week.
All right, Swiss Nation. Headlines for the week. The Miami Heat jump out to a 3-1 series lead after their 112-109 victory over Boston. Tyler Hero scores 37 points in the Heat victory, Wisconsin native. The LA Lakers take on the Denver Nuggets tonight. LA leads the series 2-1. Chicago Bears Hall of Fame running back Gale Sayers dies at the age of 77.
Do we know what that was? Old age or?
I don't know. I didn't see anything that said anything.
Neither did I.
Tyrod Taylor was a last-minute scratch in the Chargers' Sunday game against the Chiefs. It turns out the trainer for the Chargers accidentally punctured the lung of Taylor when attempting to administer a painkiller.
I was hoping that this was in your headlines. Is this a lawsuit? Because somebody like him, this might be his last opportunity to shine, and this guy literally screwed him over, and now he's probably not going to see the field again.
I know. And they're saying, well, no, he's going to get his job back. Well, when you draft a rookie in the top 10 and you're just looking for an opportunity, yeah, I think this is a huge lawsuit.
I would.
Yeah. I don't know if he got fired or not. So far, the teams in Major League Baseball that have clinched playoff spots in the American League, the Rays, the Athletics, the Twins, the White Sox, Yankees, and Indians. In the National League, the Dodgers, Braves, Cubs, Padres. Bryson DeChambeau wins the U.S. Open with a -6 at Winged Foot in New York. The next scheduled major will be the Masters in November. The Masters will also hold its traditional spot as the first major of the year when scheduling goes back to its normal format in April of 2021. That's all I got for headlines. Back to you, Mike.
That's it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All right, and from the headlines, we're going to move on to buy or sell.
Buy or sell.
Dementia and Alzheimer's, Gale Sayers.
Seems a little redundant.
Yeah. Buy or sell. GBG, are you buying the Bears 2-0 start?
Absolutely not.
Thank you.
I think it's pathetic. I think that no, not at all. I think Mitch Trubisky showed who Mitch Trubisky is in the second half, and I think they are a 5-win team. Maybe
yeah,
maybe 6.
I don't think there's many more wins coming. So they're definitely one of the ones that I think they'll be probably ahead of the division just because of those 2 wins ahead of the Vikings. Buy or sell Joe Burrow's hot start.
I'm buying. I'm a big Joe Burrow fan, especially after watching the game last week when him and Baker were in a gunfight.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah, no, I had to listen to the beginning of it. We went late.
Yep.
But I did catch the end of week 1, and I had talked about it last week's show. He's got it.
Yeah.
He's got it.
Yep.
And you could see that for LSU, but you never know how that translates to the NFL. Week 1, he shows you. Week 2, he definitely shows you.
Yeah.
I'm glad he shaved that wannabe mustache he had going on, though.
Yeah.
So,
But see, the nice thing about him, if you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan or you're part of their coaching staff, the greatest thing about what he's done the first 2 weeks is now all we have to do is build around him.
yeah, 100%. Zach Taylor trusts him like he's a 10-year veteran.
Yeah, you don't have to think like, okay, what if he doesn't work out? That's out of your head now. You know that if you put the right guys around him, you got you got your quarterback for the next 15 years.
Yep. So MVP odds are already out after 2 weeks in the NFL, and Russell Wilson is the favorite. Are you buying or selling?
I'm buying that right now. He's the favorite. He's got 9 touchdown passes in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Do I think he's going to end up winning it? Not at all.
No, and I'm selling the fact that they even give odds after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear MVP until after 10 games.
It's like when college football puts out their top 25 rankings and they haven't played a game yet.
Yeah, well, that's carried over from the last season. I was excited. The Gophers were 17 or something.
Yeah.
That was cool. Buying or selling Cam Newton and the Patriots?
I wouldn't buy them like the past 20 years of Patriots, 13-3, 12-4. I think they're a playoff team.
You're buying the hype.
I'll buy the
After
hype.
2 games?
Yeah, I'll buy the hype. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I think Cam's looked spry. He's looked like Cam. They almost took the games against the Seahawks, and I'm surprised he couldn't get in from a yard.
Yeah.
But he's fun to watch. Bill Belichick is just great that he can basically take whoever he wants. The argument over is Bill Belichick or Tom Brady the best? It's easy.
Yeah.
It's Belichick.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Are you buying or selling Tom Brady and the Bucks?
I think for one reason, Leonard Fournette. I think that because of Leonard Fournette, it's going to open up and it's going to buy Tom Brady more time. And if you watched the game last week, Tom Brady has, that safety valve. And that's why I buy Tom Brady. I think that they're going to I think that was the greatest pickup of the offseason so far.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And you needed it.
I needed it.
Bad.
For my fantasy team.
You were so sad.
I was pissed.
He was pissed. Sad isn't even the right word.
No. Oh, look, Taylor
Benz.
Hey,
TT. Oh, wow, that's Taylor Benz.
Taylor Benz.
TB. Oh, are you buying TB? Nope, Benz. Selling. How many cocktails you got in you right now, Taylor?
Mrs. Matt Benz.
Couple 13, 14 cocktails.
Taylor was in the Shine Box the other day.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
She's drinking umbrella drinks like they were free.
So mostly, we're a little split here, buying and selling.
Yeah.
I like this new segment.
I like to. Yeah.
Good. That's all I got.
All right.
Audio Jungle.
All right, with a great slate of NFL action this week, we're going to go through in Twist Nation. Who you got? It's the NFL Pick'em section.
All right, last week, all 3 of us went 2-3. So right now, after 2 weeks, we have me, GBG, at 6-4-0. Matt and Mike are tied at 6-0. For week 3's game,
only 2 games out of it.
Only 2 games out of it.
Good.
For this week's games, the first game up is the Chicago Bears at the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons are 3.5-point favorites. I'll go first. I'll take the Falcons.
Agreed.
All 3 of us. Matt also takes the Falcons.
Yep.
Next game, the Cincinnati Bengals at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are 6.5-point favorites.
Are they really?
Yep.
I'm going to take Cincy.
As did me, as did I, as did Matt.
Wow.
The Dallas Cowboys at the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks are 4.5-point favorites. I will take the Seahawks at 4.5-point favorites. Matt did the same. You going to be contrarian?
Yeah, I'm going the boys.
All right, Mike's mixing it up. Going with the boys.
Either going to be in dead last or catching up to Greg.
Yep. All right, next game up, the Tennessee Titans at the Minnesota Vikings. The Titans are 2.5-point favorites.
I'll take Tennessee.
I would take Tennessee if they were 12.5-point favorites.
Please tell me Matt took the Vikings.
No, he did not.
Oh,
Next up, the Green Bay Packers at the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints are 4.5-point favorites.
yeah, I'm going Pack.
Pack plus 4.5. Matt also took that. So for the first time since we've been doing this segment,
Wow.
you guys both bet against the Vikings and for the
Pack.
Packers.
And you and Matt went the same way across the board,
Me and Matt have the same picks all the way through.
all the way through. And I probably would have gone Seahawks with you, but that'd be boring as hell.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I look forward to tuning in next week on our regularly scheduled program.
Regularly scheduled time for Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. Good.
Fantasy.
Audio Jungle.
All right, now let's check in at the fantasy desk to see who's winning the league and who is a bottom feeder.
All right. Well, last week was atrocious
Yeah.
for my team. I don't think you could get much worse. So we talked about this earlier in the show. I lost Christian McCaffrey for 4 to 6 weeks, and I lost Saquon Barkley for the season. So last week we did our bench draft, and for the first time ever, my bench running back, Jonathan Taylor, now slides into my starter for the rest of the season.
He's your RB1.
He's my RB1, so now I don't have a bench.
Yep.
So I'm adding Miles Sanders to my bench. So he will slide in and be playing for Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
So when Christian McCaffrey comes back, yes,
Yep.
Miles Sanders will be my new bench player. So I went up against Benz, who led all with over 123 points.
Good for him.
I had 52.6.
That's not good.
Yeah. Kittle was out, so my bench player, Hunter Henry, came in and played. GBG, you played Tevin.
Yes.
You lost.
Yes, I did.
Yep. So all of us are at 1-1. So this week, week 3, it is me versus you, GBG, and Tevin versus Benz. So good luck. I'll keep monitoring. If there are any injuries, we will just slide in a bench player and go from there. Hopefully we're not just doused with injuries again, because that would be to lose Christian McCaffrey and Barkley. This just isn't looking good.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
No.
I was afraid of you when the season started, or when we started this, because I'm like, oh, how'd that work out where you got both those guys?
Yeah.
And then I thought about, like, well, we only have 4 people doing this.
But still.
Yeah. So.
Well, great. That's all I got for you, folks.
All right, and now it's time for everybody's favorite or least favorite Packer fan, GBG, to put a wrap on the show.
All right, guys, this happens a lot, especially in the day and age we're living in. And I thought about it this morning on my way into work. I was listening to a song. Actually, it's one of the most famous songs ever, "We Didn't Start the Fire" by Billy Joel. And
Coolio.
after that song came out, I still remember this. I was in grade school. People criticized him for the subjects that he picked and then the way that he told the story. And he actually spent a lot of time justifying it, saying, well, I wanted to go lighthearted than serious. Here's my point, folks. If you don't like something, you have the ability to do it yourself. Don't sit around and just criticize someone else for the way that they do something, whether that's in sports, whether that's in, everyday life, in politics. You don't like the way things are going? You know what? Go to your congressman. Go to your local government and say, you know what? I would rather have this be done, and do it in a civilized manner. Don't burn down a building or don't burn down something. But don't sit behind the Twitter sphere or the Facebook or whatever it is and complain and not do anything off it. Get off your ass if you want to see change in something, no matter how trivial it is, and fix it. Or shut your damn mouth.
GBG out. D. McCash on. Thank you, everybody, Twist Nation, for tuning in. Episode 41 in the books. Thank you to Mike Herndon. Thank you to Bricks Boat Works. Get your boat winterized. Get it stored. Get in Otter Ice House. We'll see you next week. Regular time, Saturday, 11 a.m. with Benzie.
Talking sports with a twist, no script. Legends coming through on the guest list.